Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with my good friend, the coach, Jonathan Pixley. And we are way outside the box today. We are normally talking about the 10 best this, the 10 best that. Today, we're talking about the 10 absolutely worst NBA shooting mechanics, shooting forms in the history of the league. Coach Pixley, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here again. I feel like, the good thing about this particular topic is we can take the angle that these other former players who are terrible announcers or analysts do, which is, well, you never played, so, you don't know what you're talking about. Because we actually could shoot the ball. You still can. I can no longer shoot it because I can't lift my right arm above my eye. But, we actually know a little bit about this one. It's pretty fun.
If we had to describe ourselves, we would be volume shooters. But you were a little more efficient. I was certainly a volume shooter. I was definitely a shoot-first point guard. We know this, right?
No question.
That's why you never picked me on your team. We played pickup because you wanted all the field goal attempts, and you knew you weren't going to get them if I was your point. So we do know a little bit about shooting. We both played high school basketball. We both played college basketball. You had a brief stint in the NBA Summer Pro League. You were an elite shooter in college. I think you retired as the all-time three-point field goal percentage leader in the TAC, right? In your conference.
No, I was probably like third or fourth, but I did retire with the most makes ever.
Oh. So you failed as far as percentage goes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I, believe it or not,
if you're still like third, right? I mean,
it's a second loser. I don't know if you realize this because you might not have caught it when it was on ESPN, but I, at one point, was third in the nation in three-point shooting in NEI and top 10 in free throw percentage. So I might not be able to jump and sit on the rim anymore, but I think I could go in a gym and shoot the ball better than some of the guys that we're about to see on this list. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. The first thing I wanted to do, Jonathan, is before we get to our list, I'm going to do an honorable mention, and then we're going to do the top 10. I know how much you love honorable mention. The first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to show the viewers what a shot is supposed to look like. So you and I kind of talked through this, and this may be another video that we do in the future, but we were talking about the guys that we think have the absolute most impeccable shot mechanics in NBA history. We talked about Steve Nash. We talked about Ray Allen, who I like, and you seem to find flaws in his stroke, which is fine because we're nitpicking here. But the guy that we both kind of settled on is a guy that kind of reminds us of ourselves, and it's Mark Price. And so what I've got over here on the shared screen is we've got what a shot is supposed to look like, right? He is perfect and flawless in almost every way. And this was when Mark Price made 20 of his first 22 three-pointers in the 1994 three-point contest. So I'm just going to let this run, and you tell me what you see when Mark Price shoots the basketball.
So the key here to being a great shooter is limited but perfect motion, right? So you're going to notice as he picks the ball up, he'll drop it a little bit, but primarily it's chest level or close to it. And then after that, he's got his elbow directly underneath the ball. He snaps his wrist into the center of the rim. More times than not, all 5 of those fingers are going to be down. And then that guide hand is open where the palm is facing the sideline. So his thumb is facing back at him. And then obviously from his base, his feet are a little more narrow than I would like.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not really going to critique Mark Price's shot, considering he's probably one of the 5 to 10 greatest shooters in the history of the game from a standpoint of if he's open, it's going in, right?
Right. And that's probably why he missed 2 of them because his foundation wasn't great. So he probably missed 2 for that reason.
But he did make a bunch right there. And he was a great shooter. In fact, he's one of the guys. It's pretty interesting when you hear about the old school guys talking about players who are forgotten.
Yes.
I've even heard, our favorite former point guard, Isaiah Thomas, mention that's a joke, by the way, obviously, to the viewers out there.
I was going to catch you. Make sure people picked up on that. Yeah.
Said how very difficult Mark Price was to guard. And so I thought it was intriguing. Steve Nash is right there with that. Chris Mullen is a lefty, perfect. But what you're fixing to see is not what you just saw.
No, it's not. And I don't have a list to put up on the screen, unfortunately. We're low maintenance audio visual here with Cajun Cardboard. The Luca Nation Network is working on getting me everything that I need to have top-notch quality graphics and production. But today I am literally staring down. And if you see me put these on, it's because I am so old I can't read the notes that I've written down. So I might put these on and take these off just to intimidate everybody. How intimidating is that? Wow. Stay with me. Okay, so let's talk about it. We've got the 10 worst shooting forms of all time, according to us. Believe it or not, I got to give some credit to my son. This was my son, Cajun Jr. It was his idea to put this video together, and he wanted you and I to talk about it because he knows how much you and I care about shot mechanics and the greatest shooters of all time. So he wanted to hear us talk about the worst shooters of all time. So get this. On this list, we've got 3 on the honorable mention, and then we've got a top 10 list. If you include the honorable mention, guys, we've got 3 Hall of Famers. We've got 26 total All-Star teams made. We've got 17 All-NBA teams, and we've got 13 NBA rings. So what that means is it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. So no matter what you got to do to put the ball in the hole, put it in the hole. And some of these guys actually did that to the tune of Hall of Fame enshrinements.
I don't agree with – I think the Hall of Fame is hogwash to begin with.
Right.
Because it's too easy to get in, as you'll see with one of these guys who basically got in based on one shot that hit the back of the rim, bounced straight up at the top of the backboard, then bounced back in to put the – basically hand a team a championship, which we'll get to once you get to him. So I think the Hall of Fame stuff, whatever. The All-Star, the number of All-Stars, the number of All-NBAs, the number of all I mean, look, and some of these guys, like you said, some of these guys could really shoot it. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Really shoot it. We got the numbers to back it up, man.
That's right.
We got the numbers to back it up. It's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. All right, here we go. Let's start with our honorable mention, and we've got video of all of them, okay? So honorable mention, we have got to start with Kevin Martin, okay? Not Kenyon Martin, the other K Martin. This is Kevin Martin. Kevin Martin had a sort of a journeyman career, not nearly as long as it should have been. He was a 20-plus point per game scorer. He was an 87% free throw shooter, a 38% career three-point percentage shooter. He led the NBA in free throws made in 2010 at 7.4 a game, shooting almost 90%. And he shot, I believe, 92% one season. With this funky form that we're about to share with you guys, do you remember Kevin Martin? I know you do. Tell me what you remember about Kevin Martin as we click on his video so the world can witness this beautiful jumper. There's his free throw.
Well, first of all, he looked like he was 12 years old. Okay,
that's right. Oh, look, we've got an ad.
We got an ad, so we'll talk about him while we're doing the ad. He could really score. Like, I mean, from a standpoint, he shot the ball very well. He wasn't super athletic, obviously, but to get to the free throw line that many times is impressive. I think it might have had a little bit to do with the fact that he weighed about 145 pounds. So anytime he got touched, he fell down. But
there you go.
Let's bring that thing from your right ankle.
Let's bring it back. Let's put it off of our right hip. Let's put it in the holster on our right hip, come across our body, and then get it as far away from our face as possible. I don't want the ball anywhere near my face. I want to extend my arms almost like I'm about to make a chest pass.
Yep. And I want to catch it chest level where I should have it to begin with, and then I'm going to drop it. That's a key. Right. We got to do that. Right. We have to do that, right?
Okay. Kevin Martin, honorable mention number 1, and he was one of the guys on the list that could shoot the piss out of the ball. He defied logic for sure. All right, number 2 on our list, and this is a little bit misleading because I'm pretty sure he made the Hall of Fame as a coach more so than a player. But we know it's not an NBA Hall of Fame. It's a basketball Hall of Fame. There's announcers in there. There's cheerleaders. There's mascots, whatever. There's people that never even played in the NBA in the Hall of Fame because it's like a World Basketball Hall of Fame. What they need to do is they need to start right now and have an NBA Hall of Fame. Right. They don't have that. I wish they did, but they don't. Honorable mention number 2, Don Nelson, Nelly. And we've got him pulled up, and I'll let you watch in just a second. Hall of Famer, 5 NBA rings, 76.5% free throw shooter somehow. When you see what I'm about to show you, you're not going to believe it. 48% field goal career, but I think a lot of that was in close proximity to the goal. He shot almost 85% free throws one season, and this, my friend, is what his free throws look like. Watch this. Here we go. As though he's never done this before.
First
Wipe
of
it
all,
off.
I mean, those guys hit the weights back then, man.
Beautiful butt cut. Kevin Bacon steps to the line. Oh,
Goodness.
I don't need that God hand. What am I going to use that for when I can just put it in my right hand like I'm a waiter holding a tray, bringing it to the table? Why would I need my left hand?
But watch how heavy it is. Watch.
Here we go.
It's heavy.
Okay, and then can we take it a step further? Can we talk about the fact that Mr. Nelson just jumped on his free throw and did the splits when he landed? I want you to pay close attention to his foundation here. Please pay close attention because this factors in.
He doesn't.
I'm already regretting it.
I don't think.
Here we go.
Crazy.
What?
He does not cross the line. That's almost impossible.
He lands on 1 foot. I am almost regretting right now not putting him in the top 10 and somehow relegating him to the honorable mention. He might have deserved to be in the top 10.
So I do want to say real quick, he's the one, 1969 NBA Finals Lakers Celtics, who hits a probably middle of the key. I'll call it a jumper. What do you want to call it? A pusher, whatever we want to call it. Back of rim, top backboard, back down in, and allows the Celtics to win the NBA championship in the game that when the Celtics walked into the to the Forum or wherever it was.
Balloons? Is it the balloons?
All of that stuff. And Russell, Bill Russell walked in the locker room. And
he noticed it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are legendary stories. The Lakers had the balloons ready to celebrate the title, the end of the Celtics dynasty. That was the end of it. And that pissed Russell off. Yeah. Russell took that shit in the locker room and stirred his guys into a frenzy. And then Don Nelson did his thing with his beautiful picturesque jumper.
Tell me how he got it. How did he even get a jumper off?
How would you get it off? How long did that free throw take?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Incredible lift on that free throw. Yeah. All right. So last honorable mention, we got to put Shaq Diesel in here. You guys know I've got Shaq in here. So I've got Shaq Diesel, screen share here. Of course, we got the great Kobe Bryant there. That look on his face is before he takes this free throw. You'll see his look after. And I really wish I had volume on this one, but I don't. But you're just going to have to trust me. This is one of the loudest misses of all time. And that was actually not the worst Shaq free throw. Let's look at it again. Do you think he gets full leg extension? I mean, do you like what he's doing with his legs there?
I like what he does. I like the fact that he bends at all and then completely locks out before he shoots it. Because, then that makes bending relevant at that point, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Here's the crazy thing. If you go back and watch Shaq shoot free throws in Orlando, he wasn't much more successful, probably 60% or so. But it looked halfway normal. And obviously he's bulked up and everything, but how did it evolve into that?
I don't know. It got real bad to where he had a hitch. He didn't want to let go of it. And I guess when people are really bad at something, they want to just kind of keep it in the holster. They don't even want to release that thing. You see it with Barkley's golf swing. Yeah. You've seen it with baseball players who get the yips. You've seen it with golfers all the time. So it's one of those things where they just don't want to let the thing go. Markelle Fultz went through this crap. And you know what? We should have had Markelle Fultz on here. That's a spoiler alert. We took him off. I almost feel too bad. And maybe I took him off just because I like the kid and he's making a comeback. But Markelle Fultz at the peak of that what the hell was really something. I can't believe I didn't put Markelle Fultz on here. I almost want to hit the button, pause it, and go put him in. But I'll let you guys do your own research on that. So just more about Shaq, 52.7%, much maligned his entire career from free throw line. Led the NBA in free throw attempts, unfortunately, 6 times. Shot the most free throws in the NBA at a 52.7% clip. Not good. He shot, guess how many times he shot 60% or higher in 19 seasons? Guess how many times, Jonathan?
Once. Yeah.
One time did he make 60% of his free throws in a season.
You know what my favorite Shaq line ever is? Well, I made him when I had to.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Really? I mean,
come on, man.
If you had made them all along, you wouldn't have had to make them when you had to make them.
That's right. You can do better than that. All right, here we go. We're in our top 10. And there's going to be a few blasts from the past. Some of the younger viewers are not going to remember some of these names. They're not going to have ever even seen some of this footage, and including number 10 on our list. Number 10 on our list is a guy, and I can tell you, I vividly remember growing up in Louisville, Kentucky, in my basement with a Nerf ball, watching this guy's games on tape delay, probably, if I had to recall, because they weren't playing live back in the 70s. They didn't start that until like early 80s. But watching this guy and then trying to shoot a Nerf ball the way he shoots a basketball. I remember telling my dad, I want to shoot just like that guy. And I was in the driveway emulating him. And my dad was like, what the hell are you doing? Right. My dad was like, shoot the ball correctly. We're from Kentucky, for God's sakes. Shoot the ball the way it's supposed to be shot. So number 10 on our list, Jonathan, is none other than Jamal Wilkes, Hall of Famer. Career, get this. Here's his career splits. Are you aware of this, of what I'm about to say? Okay. 50, 13, and 76. 50% from the field, 13% from the three-point line, and 76% as a volume free throw shooter. Hold on, I'm not done. 3-time All-Star, 4 rings, and scored 20 points per game 3 straight seasons. And the only thing that I have to ask is how? How could he ever do it? How could he ever get the shot off? And we're about to show you why. Tell me what you know about this guy.
So when you watch him shoot it, I want you to think about the 13% from the three-point line, because my question is, how would he ever get it there from the three-point line doing that right there? Okay. Super underrated player historically, though, right? I mean,
yes.
In the famous Magic game where he had, 42, 15, and 7 as a rookie in the finals, Jamal Wilkes had like 37 that night. Like, I mean,
look at your screen. Look what's happening right here.
Like, what happened? Like, is he catching a pass that was bad?
It's like in the World's Strongest Man competition when they're lifting those like 80-pound like medicine balls, and you got to put it up on the thing. It looks like he's twisting to gather all the power to shoot this like 100-pound basketball. Yeah, it's just a basketball, man.
And I need my feet closer too. Can you get them a little closer?
Good night. Yes, touching.
But go back, and I want you to pause when he finishes.
Okay.
On the next one, right at the end. Now keep going.
A little more.
Yep. Keep going. One more. Right there. Okay. I mean, when you finish, you technically are supposed to finish above the rim.
Yes.
He is on par with a 6-foot goal right now, maybe.
Yes.
Right? But this ball goes in. I mean,
it goes in. It goes in. And his ball went in a lot, my friend, which is hard to believe, but it's true. It's really true. All right, let's keep moving. That's number 10. Jamal Wilkes is number 10 on our list. Great player. Not the greatest form. Number 9 on the list is the Matrix. Fantasy basketball freaking legend. I'm old. I remember playing fantasy basketball back in the early and the mid 2000s, even back as late as early as the 90s, late 90s. Shawn Marion was an absolutely fantastic basketball player. Fantastic fantasy basketball player. Great third best player for those Phoenix Suns teams with Amaria Nash. He was number 3, a clear number 3. He was a 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. He did win a ring. Was he on the Dirk team? Yeah, he was on the Dirk team that older years, right? So Dirk won that one as the alpha. He's a fantasy basketball Hall of Famer. That's what my notes say. He was a 48, 33, 81 career split, which is not bad for a small forward. He played the wing. He's an undersized wing. Crazy athletic, though. 48% field goals, 33% from 3, which is just right on average. And then 8 of his first 9 seasons in the NBA, he shot over 80% from the free throw line, shooting like this. Where is he? Here he is in his Dallas years. Bang. Let's get it out of our hands as fast as humanly possible. Let's see it again.
He would top the list for me of the WTF form. Like, how does this transpire, right? How do you become a grown man and you still release it? Let's take a look here from there. Like,
cheekbone, maybe released?
No, I don't even think he gets it up that high. I think
not even
is up that high, but the ball's out already, though. That's the problem. Ball's out. I mean, it's out. There's nothing you're doing with that. Like, why do you even bother being athletic if that's how you're going to shoot it?
Well, here, let this sink in. He's shot better from threes than Luka Doncic.
Oh, yeah. No, it went in.
Think about that. Think about how nuts that is. Think about how insane that is. And that's just repetition, man.
That's not fair. That's not a fair comparison because Luka wasn't taking those shots right
Boy, Luka hadn't been that open since he was like 11 years old playing in Madrid. I get it, right? But the fact of the matter is, man, he shot 33% in the league, which is 50% effective field goal percentage. Yep. And he did it by just simply making really short little chest passes to the goal. So Shawn Marion is number 9 on our list. Let's keep rolling. Let me queue up the next one. All right, it's queued. We're good. The next on the list was also a 2-time All-Star. He was also an All-NBA player. Nobody's going to remember that. That would be a great trivia question. He was an actual first team All-NBA center, I believe, right?
Yes.
And a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He didn't win. Did he win Defensive Player of the Year? He might have. He was a candidate. Yeah. He shot a career 70% free throws. But listen to this interesting disparity. And I'm going to say this a couple times in here. He had one season where he shot 43%, and then another season where he shot over 75%. So tell me that he wasn't fighting some mental demons. Something has to be going on because
we're going to see some demons right here.
We're going to see some demons. I've shot free throws all my life, and I can't imagine ever going through a spell where I'm shooting 30% less one season to the next.
Yeah, makes no sense. This is incredible.
Joakim Noah is who we're talking about, not Carmelo. Joakim Noah, and here you go. We've got him ready here and queued up. Show us what you got, Joakim.
How does he do this with his hands? That's what I want to know.
Oof.
Like how? I'd love for the viewers. It would be great if you could see it from like facing him. It is incredible.
You're about to. But listen, let's just be clear. That's air ball left.
Yeah.
That's not short, which is also indefensible. Look at him. He's like, damn, I normally make that. Damn.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Damn, I normally make 43% of those. Let's see if they show it. I think, there you go. Okay, so there's your side spin.
But it's like it's the side spin opposite of what, if you're gonna have side spin, it should be, which makes no sense.
Oh, his face. His face during the shot. His face during the shot, though.
Oh my gosh, that's almost impossible. And one thing I'd like our viewers to know about us is we spent hours on the playground, whatever, shooting shots that we just envision. Okay, what would be the guy's shot that you can't, right when he came out on the floor, you'd be like, oh, this dude can play, until you watched him shoot. Right. And we did that for hours and hours.
We did.
That might be one of them right there.
Yeah. He did not make it rain. He was peculiar. He may belong higher up on the list, but I will let the viewers decide if he belongs higher on the list. He's number 8. That's Joakim Noah. He's number 8 on our list. Number 7 on our list next is I'm really digging in the weeds, and the only reason I remember this guy is because I do remember that there was a season where he shot 11% from the free throw line. Okay. So that's the kind of statistic when you're a stat nerd like me and like you are, when you hear a stat like that, it's a stat you never forget. Wilt played 48.5, minutes in a season. Wilt, averaged 50.4 points a game. You can go down the list of all of these great statistics. 11.1% is a stat you don't forget about from a free throw shooting standpoint. He was exactly 50% for his career free throw percentage, worse than Shaq. He shot 11.1% one season. He had another season where he bumped it up to 16%. Did you know that?
I didn't. 16%.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I want to see
Andris Biedrins, and I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, I'm not from where he's from, but I'm going to do my best. I think it's pronounced Beedrins, but I used to say Beedrins because that's what it looks like in my language. So here we go. We've got him pulled up. Let's see what he's got. There's Steve Blake, by the way. Here he is. His hair is perfect, just like we taught him. Short and left.
Yeah.
Now, you want to talk about locking out. God, I wish Klay Thompson wasn't in the way. First of all, look at Klay Thompson's shorts. How giant.
That's tough.
Locked out, my friend. And how about that left hand finish, 4 fingers directly towards your right ear over here?
Yeah. So I just looked it up. The year he shot 11%, he was 1 for 9.
He was 1 for 9.
But I want you to keep this in mind. He played 47 games, and he's an NBA center, and he shot 9 free throws.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason he didn't touch the ball very much.
He would have probably shot in the high 20s if they'd have just let him touch the ball more. Let him get his reps at least, at the very least.
Volume, yeah.
Okay. All right. We got to queue up the next one. Andris Biedrins was number 7. Number 6. And this hurts because I really like this kid. And he's one of the guys on the list. We're going to see a couple of different kinds of guys on the list. He's a guy that's on this list that started in a very dark place from free throw shooting mechanics and then worked his way into having a acceptable form and becoming a pretty damn good shooter, at least so far from what we've seen. It looks like he's cured his ills. And I'm talking about number 6 here, Lonzo Ball. 41% at UCLA with the horrific form, believe it or not, somehow. 42.3% threes his last full season in the NBA. 57% NBA free throw career. He shot, and I did not remember this. I figured he would have got a lot more heat for this. He shot 45% as a rookie from the free throw line.
Yeah.
A guard. I didn't remember him being that bad.
Yeah, he was bad. And the issue is, like, as you'll see, let's let the viewers see the shot first because it's going to take some explanation, obviously. And he has worked on it tremendously, and it does not look like this now for sure. So you got to give the kid credit.
That's what it looked like before. Look, I'll just stop it. There it is. So tell us what's wrong with the form that you see right here in this middle picture, John.
Well, first of all, if he took his left hand, if he basically shifted both hands to his right, then he would have correct shooting form for a lefty. Okay, but and I think that's the issue is. How did he get to that point in his life and nobody said, dude, why are you shooting it on the left side of your body? That makes no sense whatsoever. Like you're fighting yourself. I mean, what is the goal 45 degrees to his left right now? Is that where he's aiming? He just looks.
You know what? I'm still laughing. You're right. He's closer to shooting the ball mechanically correct left-handed than right-handed right there in that pre-shot.
Couple little hand position changes, and he is Chris Mullen all of a sudden.
This is the next Chris Mullen right there. All right, let's watch him. Let's see what he does. So this is what he looked like way back. And now his feet are jacked up. They're touching.
Have to be.
They're pointing, sideways. The ball starts completely it actually starts on the correct side of his body, then gets to the wrong side, and then comes back across his face. My question is, he has no shooting window. Like when you go to shoot a basketball, there's your window. You can see my eyes, and I've got my form right here. You see my eyes, which means I can see the goal. His hand is here. You can't see my eyes, and he sure as shit can't see the goal. But he was shooting 41% with this crap at UCLA somehow. Now it's a different three-point line.
And I think it's a great time to bring up the fact that this goes to prove that even if your shot is not mechanically correct, if you do anything millions and millions of times, then you're probably going to get pretty good at it. I mean, this is absurd. This is absurd right here.
How pissed is Steph Curry that he's on the same still screen with Lonzo Ball when he was at UCLA?
It's irritating.
First of all, how effed up does your shot have to be that they do a sports science episode on your shot?
Yeah, exactly.
That right there should have been an indication. You know what? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe people can't understand the mathematics and the science behind the ball going in. So maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
But to his credit, go ahead.
No, I feel like he's on his way to Tommy John surgery here. If you look at
I'm telling you, man, tennis elbow or something. But look, here's the deal. To his credit, Jonathan, he fixed it, man, and he's actually improved the way it looks. Clearly, he shot 75% from the free throw line last year, and like I said, he had an NBA season shooting 42.3%. That is a really good three-point percentage for a perimeter player. Yeah. So Lonzo Ball is a good player, man. He just had another knee surgery this summer, which really sucks because I just don't think the Bulls matter at all without him. With him, who knows? They can be in the mix in the 4 to 7 range.
Whatever.
Without him, I just don't see it. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they'll hand the ball to Kobe White and let him try to play point. I don't know what they're going to do. But Lonzo is the engine that makes that team go. And they looked really good at the beginning of last season when he was healthy. But his surgery didn't go well. They had to redo a surgery. It just really sucks. That's sucks.
Bad. I am glad that he figured out that he was right-handed, though. That's a big
yeah. No kidding, right? No kidding. All right, let's get our next one queued up. All right, this is one of my favorites. And as a child, I can't stress enough to you. I remember collecting basketball cards in the 80s, and I wanted his card so bad in the late 80s. And I saw pictures of him, and he was like larger than life, thinner than life also, but larger than life. One of the he looks like a freaking alien. A lot of people like to super collect his son's cards. We're talking about Manute Bol, the first Bol Senior, not Bol, Manute Bol.
Right.
7'7", 200 pounds, my friend. 200 pounds. 200 career 3-point attempts. I got to just show you what this human being looks like.
Yep.
If you guys are too young to remember this guy, 200 career threes. Hold on. 21% career 3-point percentage. So why did he have permission to shoot it? He took 91 threes in 1988, and here's your stat. He took 91 threes in 1988. That is more than Larry Bird took in 4 NBA seasons.
Unbelievable.
Yes, so 4 seasons Bird played. He did not take 91 threes. This guy that I'm about to show you took 91 in 1 season. And let's get it going. Oh, and by the way, his probably greatest statistical accomplishment in his career, other than the fact that he came in and led the league in blocks as a rookie and blocked 5.0, right? He was from Bridgeport, real tiny little school. Yeah. I think a Division II school up in, I think it's in Connecticut, but I may be wrong on that. But came into the NBA, averaged 5.0 blocks a game, which let that sink in. That's nuts. In very limited minutes. I mean, we're talking blocking 8-9 shots a game if he played 35 minutes.
For sure.
But he made 6 threes and a half. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that, actually. I also think that he is probably the only guy on this list that would also make the list of funkiest looking human being.
Yeah, well, if you're assuming he's human.
Right, true, very true. I mean, look at that.
He's just slanging it, man. Not slinging, he's slanging it.
Slanging it. Look, I mean, let's get it up there. Yeah. Get it forward, get it back and then forward, and let me just run off because I know it's going down.
Yeah, here's what you have to love. He doesn't jump as high on his 3 as Don Nelson did from the free throw line.
A good point. That's a good point. He is 7'7" also, so he's above the rim.
That is fair. His release point, I think his reach was probably 10.5 easily.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. He spins it with the same exact rotation as Joakim Noah.
Yeah, rewind that real quick.
Okay.
Here's one thing I would like to discuss. I know he made 6 threes and a half, okay? So notice no defenders are running at him, okay? But then for some reason, and I think it's your guy, Wayman Tisdale, here in a minute, is going to sprint at him. I'm going to tell you right now, he could make 12 and a half, and I'm never leaving the paint. Like, why?
That's Mark West. That's Mark West.
Mark West. I'm sorry. Mark West. Why are we going near him? You know?
Well, are you going
to get there?
You know what? This has to be the half, Jonathan. He didn't contest the first 4, but then like on 5 and 6, you're like, shit, this dude's knocking everything down. I got to get out.
I'm not contesting numbers 12 and 13. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
You just want to see it happen. You want to be a part of history. That's why. You just want to be a part of history. All right. Let's bring us back. All right. That's Manute Bol. Manute Bol was number 5 on our list. We're on to number 4. Let me get it queued up. All right. I got it. I like this one. I wanted to get better clips. I've got 2 clips of this one because I wanted to show you his free throws. But I really wanted you to see his jump shot.
Yes.
And so this is truly a player that defies logic. First, let me just pull this up because I want to show you Paxton's mustache and how beautiful it is. Okay, let's just leave it here for a second, right?
Yeah.
Oof, man. All right. So number 4 on our list, one-time All-Star. 5th, and these numbers make no sense at all. Like how he got permission to do this, I have no idea. 5th in the NBA three-point contest one year, shooting the way I'm about to show you. 5'10", 162, which defies logic because he shoots a double pump and he releases it on the way down. You would think the smaller people would need to release it before they even get to the peak of their jump because they're smaller, they're not as strong. 162 pounds, 5'10", 162 has got to put him in the 10 smallest people that have ever played in the NBA.
And there ain't no way he was 5'10". No.
I don't think so either. But I mean, like he embellished up to 162 pounds. Like Iverson weighed 162, man. I mean, hell, what did Muggsy Bogues was like 180, wasn't he, or something like that?
Probably, yeah.
85% from the line career. So he was a knockdown, like Jamal Wilkes, a great shooter, despite the fact that he shot this way from the free throw line. He was over 80% free throws in every single season of his long NBA career, except the first and the last. So his rookie year and his last year were the only 2 seasons he did not shoot 80% from the free throw line. So he's a great free throw shooter. He led the NBA in 3-point field goal attempts 4 seasons in a row. So we think Steph Curry brought in this pace and space volume 3-point shooting game. He took over 8 threes a game when nobody else was taking like 3. So it was a really weird anomaly. And that's, of course, why we loved him, right? Because he had permission in the green light to shoot up as many threes as he want. So keep in mind that when he led the NBA in 3-point field goals attempted, he was shooting 29%. So what was his coach doing? Was this those Nuggets teams where they were trying to score like 170? Okay, I thought so.
It was after that, actually, because, when that Nuggets team that you're talking about had like Alex English and Kiki Vandeweghe and all that.
Yeah.
It did continue on after that. I don't know if Doug Moe, as you watch this literal shot put at the rim, I don't know if Doug Moe was the coach. I think Hanslick may have been the coach, but it was still the whole idea of what the Nuggets were trying to do, score 1 million points. Because remember they had Orlando Woolridge and other guys who they just scored and that's it. So
look at his God hand.
It's amazing. It's just incredible. Like,
what in the hell is happening? What is happening here?
I don't know. And the fact that not only did he lead the league in attempts, he only shot 29%, and they kept letting him do it.
Year after year, Jonathan.
But I like that little elbow hitch right there.
Okay, I want to take you back to the elbow hitch, but right now I want you to focus on what do you think I'm going to focus on right now? How about this? The fact that his right foot is not centered and he's shooting it like maybe, I don't know, 75% away from the center. I don't even know how to describe it. Look where his right foot is. He's not right in the middle. He's not lined up, which you want to line your release with the goal. I know not everybody does, but really you want to. But I want to look at that hitch again. I'm with you, man. I want to see this. Watch this.
It's kind of like a little
shimmy.
Wax on, wax off.
Mini shimmy. Yeah.
Wax on, wax off,
Yeah. Little mini shimmy. So here's the thing that I wanted to show you guys. So this is Michael Adams taking part in the 1989 three-point contest. He's going to be on your right, I believe. Let me make sure I got this right. Is he on your right? Yeah, here he is. Watch this. Watch the double pump, Jonathan.
Oh, it's impossible. It's impossible.
Here we go. This is a better angle. You see the double pump? You see the hitch?
But let me get my left hand down fast.
Get it away from there.
Get it out of there. Yeah.
Let's watch one more set, one more rack here. Well, it's kind of blurry there, but that's it. That's what you've got with Michael Adams.
He's a good
he's fourth on the list. Now that I look at it, I feel like maybe we did a disservice to some of these other people like Andris Biedrins and maybe even early Lonzo should have been up here higher.
Marion would have been the one for me.
Marion would have been the one for you. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So here we are. We're our top three. Number 3, I gave you a little sneak peek, and I couldn't find anything really good for him on YouTube. So I think this is like off of Twitter or something like that. But and I don't know if I'm going to go to jail for just grabbing people's videos or whatever. I don't know if I'm even allowed to do that. But none of these are my videos. I guess I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm just using whatever I find on YouTube, which I guess is in the public setting.
And
but
I had no idea that he was doing this, so I'm not associated at all. Right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you always take the role of being able to second guess everything, never share your list, tell everybody how dumb my list is with your Tim Duncan comments, and then just kind of like run into the bushes and let me deal with the aftermath, right? But I'll tell you what, I know you don't know anything about social media. There was a couple of folks that watch our videos that had my back on Tim Duncan. Thank you very much. And, they've never seen basketball, but they had my back on it and they watched the video. So I'm going to hang my hat on that. That somebody out there agrees with me that Tim Duncan was a good
I'm sure
player.
Those people knew a whole lot about basketball.
Yeah. All right. Number 3 on our list. You can see him right there. Bill Cartwright. He was a one-time All-Star, 77% career free throw shooter, 60% season and an 80% season. So another guy with one of those crazy ass disparities where something happened, he couldn't figure it out, and then something clicked, right? So to go from 60 to 80 is nuts. He did it in very short succession. So he was fighting some demons as well. Let's see what Big Bill's got for us. This is somebody who, if I wanted to replicate this shot, I can't do it. I can't make the ball go 15 feet like this.
No.
He shot his jump shots just the same way you're about to see him shoot this free throw. So I'm just going to run this.
Don't do it yet. Don't do it. Oh, my goodness. Okay, go back Go back to the very beginning.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! He's right-handed.
I know. Go back to the very beginning when he's holding.
It's coming. You got to let it run through, man.
Okay, my bad.
Here we go. Watch this.
Okay, but why? First of all, is
his left hand doing this?
Squeezing the ball. First of all, how does that happen? How small does the ball look in his hands? First of all,
he was a big dude, man. He had huge hands.
Well,
who
told you to
horrible
do
body,
that?
horrible body.
Who told you to do that?
Yeah. What? I don't understand if he's allergic to the weight room. I don't know what's going on. And again, the guy was an NBA All-Star, so I got no room to talk. But he did not put any effort into the weight room. I don't know how Jordan let him get away with that, man.
Well, here's the guy that in the Jordan rules, it came out that Jordan told his teammates, "Don't you dare throw the ball to this guy at the end of a game, or I'll never throw it to you," which he didn't anyhow. And then Cartwright found out about it and apparently threatened Jordan, said, "If you ever say anything like that again, you'll never play basketball again." You just, kind of calm.
You'll never walk again.
Somebody with a shooting form like that would say something like that.
Yeah. You know what I'll do? I'll shoot a free throw. I'll make you stand under the goal. I'll shoot free throws. You just catch them off the ear. All right, number 2 on our list, had a very short NBA career, lottery pick, University of Kentucky. I think everybody who's a modern NBA basketball fan is going to remember this player, and very, very hyped up player. We thought he was going to be a really good fantasy player because he was a nasty defender. He had a great body. Was a really good player at the University of Kentucky. Got to the NBA, and then the demons hit, and he just could not get right for whatever reason. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is number 2 on our list. He's a 71% free throw percentage career, which is not horrific. It's not terrible. It's not great for a wing, but it's not eye-popping terrible. 27% three-point field goal percentage is eye-popping terrible. Something happened with him because he deteriorated. And so he's the opposite of Lonzo Ball. And what we hope Markelle Fultz proves is that, you just kind of figure something out. It clicks. You change your mechanics. You can fix it and get back on track. He went the other way. He did not shoot a basketball like I'm about to show you when he was at the University of Kentucky. And he wasn't a great shooter, but he shot threes fluidly. He looked like a normal player. Nobody would have said, "Oh, we can't draft him. His shot looks janky." His shot wasn't even an issue at the time of the draft. But let's see what I've got in store here. Tell me what you're seeing here. What is happening here?
First of all, I need to put my chest over near the wall whenever I shoot it. Okay, I'm gonna come up through my rib cage, basically.
I'm gonna do my next video like this.
Yeah, it's kind of and let me jump far left and then reach back and see what I can get done. But I think the issue is there was definitely something that went on with him, right? And first of all, whoever is rebounding this, passing this, all of this, at some point, I don't care who they are, they have to go, "Dude, you have to stop doing this."
Come here.
This has to stop. I don't care if it's going in. You have to stop doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, much like Ben Simmons, in that when we remember Ben Simmons in high school, he took and made threes occasionally. He was never a great shooter, but I think something happened, similar to what you're talking about with Kidd-Gilchrist, because it didn't look like that. You're right.
I actually went down to in the Alario Center down on the West Bank in New Orleans. Yep. Ben Simmons was a senior in high school. He was playing for Montverde. Yep. And they played Riverside, which was the best team we had here in Louisiana that year, a bunch of guards. And I watched him hit 5 threes in the first half. Right. And I'm just going to tell you right now, flame me if you want to. I walked out of that gym saying that's going to be one of the best basketball players that ever lived.
And you know
what? Because I saw he was 6'10", right? 6'10", in high school, 225 plus.
Easy.
Played the point, was the biggest player on the court, was the fastest player on the court, and that night was the best shooter on the court amongst some really good high school shooters and another nationally ranked team. And he single-handedly absolutely freaking annihilated them and treated them like children. And I walked out of that gym, honestly, and I was there with a good friend of ours, Anthony Kimball, and I said, I think he's going to be one of the greatest basketball players that ever lived.
And he would have been. If he could shoot the ball, I think 100% I was with you. Man, when we saw him on the Nike circuit, it was okay, this is the next real thing.
This is the real one.
LeBron.
He was unique. He was different. Amongst all of – and we're talking about – Jonathan, we coached against pros. We coached against Booker and Malik Newman and who am I thinking of? Tyus Jones and Tatum and all those guys, right? And Fox and Julius Randle, all those guys, right? I mean, real good NBA pros. And Ben Simmons was on an entirely different level. It wasn't even – it was literally – it wasn't quite the same, but it was like LeBron and then everybody else with him. Yes. He was just on a completely different level and a no-brainer number 1 overall pick. But I don't know. We'll see. I think he may – I'm not saying he's going to fix his shooting woes, but I think he's going to make an all-star team and he's going to go freaking bananas this year because I think he's going on a vengeance tour. I really do. I think I think you're looking at literally something like a 11, 10, and 10 type season.
He's certainly capable.
Which only a few people in the NBA can do. I mean,
defensive player of the year potentially.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we act like Draymond Green's the greatest thing in the world. He's 7-7-7.
There's no we.
I don't mean we. I mean humans, right? Other people, not us. Everybody but us. But Ben could throw down 10-10-10 and be the best defender in the NBA. You know, I mean, hell, that's going to get Draymond Green to the Hall of Fame for God's sakes. All right, I can't watch anymore. You want to see a little bit more, Michael?
I don't need any more. I'm good.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so here we are. We're moving on. This is number 1 on our list, and I do want you to stay tuned because we've got a bonus player after this. He's not in the NBA yet, but it's a bonus player, and it's a form that you've got to see. Number 1 on our list is none other than the great Chuck Hayes. Again, Jonathan, this is the second player in a row from the University of Kentucky where something has happened. I don't know what John Calipari's doing.
I know.
What's happening here? Yeah.
Okay. Chuck Hayes at one point was a relevant player in the NBA. Like, it's just a grinder.
Undersized rotation rebounder guy, right? Yeah. Real hardworking, undersized rebounder guy. Yeah. So here's some stats for you, okay? 0 for 14 career three-pointers. So he knew his limitations. Fair enough.
No, he didn't.
36% free throws in 2008. Hold on with me. Came back in 2013 and shot over 80%.
Yeah.
So a person who shot 36% came back. Now watch when I show you how his shooting mechanics degraded, but his percentage went up 44%. And that is not an exaggeration, from 36% to 80%. Ironically, in his final season, it's a nice little stat. In his final season in the NBA, he shot 100% from the line, 2 for 2. Ironically.
The most amazing thing, and you're fixing to see it, is that, like you said, his form got a lot worse, but they started going in. Like, this is not even feasible. That's not even like it's a shot fake that he finishes.
Yeah.
After locking out. Now, the interesting thing is, watch his shooting hand at the end. It's okay, right? I mean, he puts it in the center of the rim, gives it a chance. But the fact that you're going to set yourself up to do this.
And look, everybody's in. Boozer's in. Kirilenko's in. AK-47. Mehmet Okur is in. They're all in, Jonathan.
They're thinking what we're thinking, which is that should be illegal. Not them. His shot should be illegal.
Yes, you cannot pump fake free throws is what they're saying right now. And they're probably going to the ref. Hey, you can't pump fake free throws.
Right.
What? And there's Derek Fisher on the Jazz. There's Darren Williams over there.
And I'll never forget listening to an announcer one game when he was shooting this, and they were going, well, he's obviously trying to get him to jump into the lane. Why would he ever want to shoot another free throw? You know what I'm saying? Why would he want that to happen?
He doesn't want it again. First of all, everybody's going to the freaking lane. Both teams. It's not just the other team. I mean, nobody knows what the hell's going on. It's chaos everywhere, right? He is fair. I think it's a fair ranking to have him number 1. I'm regretting Kidd-Gilchrist. It's gross and it's twisted, but Cartwright is worse. I think Don Nelson. God, let me just go back real quick. Maybe I am overhyping Nelly, but he deserves worse.
Yeah.
He deserves. This is horrific right here.
Top 5, man. He's top 5. He's got.
You got to look at this again. Wait, is this Don Nelson? This is not Don Nelson.
Well, it was. You had him on there in a second.
Where is he? No,
he's after Young Martin.
Mark Price.
Yeah.
Is that him?
No. It's incredible as you pull.
I lost Nelly.
Yeah.
I got one more.
Okay.
This guy's not in the NBA yet, but some of you may have heard of him. He's making waves over in Europe. His name is Ziga Habat. I'm hoping I pronounced that right because he's going to be famous one day, and I don't want to be embarrassed, but witness and enjoy. He's not in the league, but if he makes it in the league, I think he immediately vaults to number 1 on our list. That's just my personal opinion.
This is a Cam Dennison find, right?
God, right into a commercial. Perfect. Right into a commercial with Tony Horton. Get off, Tony.
We'll see you on next week's show, right? Yeah. Oh. This is a Cam Dennison find, is it not?
It is a Cam Dennison find. This is Cajun Jr. found him. Whoa.
Look at that. How?
It's a little Cartwright with the hand on top. It's a little Kidd-Gilchrist, right?
I'm not giving him Cartwright because he stays on the same side. Impossible. Look at where his elbow ends up. Look at that. That's not possible.
I'm going back.
Yeah, it's not possible. I like watching his teammate in the back, too. It's almost like he's he can't believe what he's watching.
His teammates just look away, Jonathan. They just look away. They don't want any piece of it.
I would.
That's it, guys. That's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Normally we're doing top 10 lists, and we'll do more. We'll do top 10s, top 50s, top 100s, top 1,000 lists. But this is the bottom 10. And let us know who we forgot. I know right off the bat, who did we say we forgot? Anthony Mason needed to be in here. Markelle Fultz needed to be in here. And I am hoping for the best for Markelle Fultz because he's really tried to find himself and get his game back together. Now he's finally healthy, so we'll see if he can emerge as one of the 7-point guards in Orlando. Who else did we forget? Is there anybody you can think of?
You're missing some. It's because we've always said it's inexcusable if you're lefty to have an ugly shot, right?
Yeah.
Stacey Augmon, Greg Anthony. I mean, you got some guys that got some ugly
but they're
shots.
all the same. They just turn – it's like Derek Fisher. They just turn too far to the side. I mean, it's all similar, screw-ups. It's almost like a left-handed Gilchrist, but not quite as bad.
Al Horford's shot is different. I'm not going to put him
Al
up there.
Horford's shot is different. It is. It's because his God hand's on top, right? Or I should – like this way, yeah.
Right.
But anybody, gals watching, let us know who we forgot in the comments so I can go Google it on YouTube and sit and stare at the screen and laugh. But this was the brainchild of Cajun Jr., my son, who just happened to run across this Ziga Habat guy and then say, Dad, you and Coach Pixley should do a video of the 10 ugliest shots ever. And so that's how we got to where we are. So you're going to be watching this on the Luka Nation Network. And if you got this far, then you obviously like watching terrible basketball shooters or at least terrible basketball shot mechanics. I really appreciate you guys taking the time. You could have watched anything you wanted, and you chose to spend 50 minutes laughing at us and watching funny-looking shots. And so stay tuned. We're trying to pump out an episode once a week with me and Jonathan, and we'll see how long we can keep it up. We're both old, and so we're going to do our best to keep it up and keep coming at you with some consistent, entertaining, and educational videos in the future. Jonathan, anything you want to add? You want to show everybody your pinky before we leave?
Signing off like we do. Here we go.
God have mercy. Oh, it's R-rated. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby, and peace.